Grace, mercy, and peace to you from God our Father and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We are digging into this sermon series based on the book of the same name called The Big Relief. If you want to read through the book while I do this sermon, you're welcome to do that. I'm not going to do all the chapters in the book, just a few, and you just have to guess which ones I do. So, have you ever said this phrase before? It's been a week, or it's been a day. Anybody? It's been a week for me. This week was Ash Wednesday, and I did 4 Ash Wednesday services, 2 with the college, 2 here in our church. And so I was busy writing those sermons, but then I had this sermon series to prepare for, to get excited about, so I had to write about that. We also had a busy day on Friday, which is supposed to be my day off, but I had a college event to attend. I then had, I got to teach T-ball to the college kids. So there's a group that play baseball, T-ball. So I don't know if that was work or a bit of fun, probably a little bit of both. And then, of course, we had the barbecue for the college. It's just been a week, right? Lots of things going on. And when you maybe have one of those weeks or one of those days, you come home and what do? Right? Maybe you zone out in front of the TV for a bit. Maybe you get away for a weekend, go off grid. Anybody like to do that? Get away from it all, blow off some steam, maybe. Vent. Anybody vent here? We have these ways of trying to deal with, well, ultimately, the pressure that we are experiencing. Maybe it's pressure on the day that we had from our boss. Maybe it's pressure in the family, so many things to run around to. We all have sorts of pressure in our lives. And that's what the sermon series is about, is how do we deal with the pressure to succeed, the pressure to produce, to be in control, the pressure to meet expectations, the pressure to belong, the pressure to keep up. We all experience that type of pressure in some way, and we're all searching for relief for that. Maybe we do it in different ways. For me, my main way that I've learned that I can find some relief, a bit of moment to cool down, reset, refuel, is by playing board games. You all know this about me. I love board games. If you don't, I'd love to teach you. I have a group that I play typically every Thursday night. I drive up to North Lakes. I drive 25 minutes to get there because it's that important to me. And I play board games. And it just allows me to go somewhere else, to do something that is not related to my job or to my family or any of the other expectations in my life. But for an hour to 2 hours, 3 hours, I get a chance to be in a different world, to accomplish a goal and a task set before me, see how efficient I can be at it. So for those 3 hours, I'm not thinking about any of the stress and worries of this world. I'm just in that world. Maybe you have something like that for you. Maybe it's getting home and having a nice beer and a piece of chocolate. Anybody like that? Not so bad. Right? That's a good way to have a little bit of relief. Maybe Netflix or Stan or Binge, or maybe you watch every single sport that's out there in the world. Maybe you watch those guilty pleasure TV shows. Never, right? You don't watch any of the maths, right? None of that. Maybe you go away for a spa day. Maybe you go exercise, get those endorphins going. Maybe you go for a risk-taking, get the adrenaline going, right? Maybe just riding your bike is the adrenaline that you need, dodging cars in traffic. There are many things that we can do to distract ourselves, to search for relief in our world. But to be honest, we have to keep going back to them. It just never satisfies. It never finishes, right? We've always got to keep going back to the well. Wouldn't it be great if we just had one big relief for everything? Wouldn't it be great if we could just know that no matter what happens, the ups and downs, we've got relief from the stress and pressure we experience, and we can tap into it just like that? Well, in a lot of ways, that's what Jesus offers to you. He says it here very clearly. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. I think we forget how simple that concept is. That's what Jesus really offers to us. In the church, we call it grace. And that's the big relief. Grace. Grace is lots of different things. We understand it in lots of different ways. Grace is one-way love. It's Jesus loving us completely and fully, expecting no reciprocity. It's one-way love. It's that of a parent to child. That's one-way love. It's unmerited favor. There it is. Unmerited favor. That means you didn't earn it, you didn't deserve it, but you get it. You get it. It's favor. It's being chosen even though you are not the best player for the team. Yet you've been chosen first to be on. It's finally sacrificial love for the unlovable. This is what Jesus does for us. He sacrificed his life for us when we were pretty dang unlovable, while we continue to be pretty dang unlovable in lots of different ways. That is grace. Listen to it, the way it says in Romans. But God demonstrated his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, while we were still mucking it up, while we were still denying and pushing him away and saying, I don't want to believe, I don't want to be a part of this church, Jesus said, yep, I'm still going to die for you. It's crazy to think about that premise. That Jesus would still die for us even when we've denied him and pushed him away. That's grace. That is grace. And in this way, I think this is the one distinctive we have as a church. From every other social club, any other way that you try to find relief, is that we offer grace. When the church first started, the distinctive of the church was love and compassion for those who weren't loved. That's why it exploded so much, because all of a sudden here were a group of people that were denying themselves and loving their neighbor. That was not done in the Roman Empire. Absolutely not. People were killed, pushed off, thrown away, unvalued and unloved because it didn't serve them. But here people started to love the unlovable, to sacrifice for those who could give nothing back. And the church grew because they had a distinctive. Well, the church did such a good job at it that it's now become part of the culture, hasn't it? To love one another. We've started hospitals. The idea that we care for the poor and homeless is all a virtue that everyone outside of this church throughout the whole world can agree with, right? We should love the unlovable. We should care for the poor, the sick, the hurting. We've done such a good job of that as a church that it's the cultural norm today. It's hard to think about a time when it wasn't, but it was. So what's the distinctive now for us as a church? What's going to lead the church to grow again? That of grace. Grace. That we receive something we don't deserve. That we experience one-way love. And it is relief. Because our world is busy and worn out, isn't it? We're constantly chasing this or that. And we need relief from deserving, from rejection, from control we want to have, from guilt that kills us, from anxiety, from trying to keep up, from productivity, from so many different things, and those are all some of the things I'll touch on this series. But I want to dig into one right now because it is so important, and that is relief from deserving. Let's dig into this. We live in a world that is based upon deserving, that you get what you deserve, that you have to work for it. You should work hard and then you'll get rewarded. You should play by the rules and then you'll be honored for them. People who pay their dues, you don't just get it right away. You got to be deserving of it. Our culture is based upon this premise, and it makes it predictable, fair, and manageable. This idea of deserving is really structural to how our culture, society works in lots of different ways. When you get annoyed that somebody got something, you say, that's unfair, it's because you believe in deserving. We live in a world that is based upon deserving. The problem with this is deserving is a treadmill with no stop button. You have to keep running the race. You have to keep going, and it is exhausting. Because you have to continue to earn it. You never get to sit back and rest. You always have to keep going. You always have to keep chasing it. And here's some of the reasons why deserving is so exhausting. Why this world of deserving doesn't work. When you get praised for good fortune, when things go well and you go right, it's great. But when things don't go well, who's to blame? You. And so it all sits on you. Winners make their own luck, they say, right? But losers have themselves to blame. Either way, it's all about you and what you're doing. Whether it's fortuitous or not, it's all about you. Winners make their own luck. I thought luck is luck. No. You got to earn your luck. You got to deserve your luck, your fortune. This is the pressure that crushes athletes. When we live in a world of deserving, we are valued when we can produce results. We have to keep producing. But once you can't, well, then you're let go. You're fired. You're moved on. You're sacked. You're only deserving as long as you can remain deserving. Another reason why a world of deserving doesn't work is because the scale of deserving is always changing. The goalposts are always moving, right? You think, I'm running down this track, I'm going to be deserving, I'm doing what's right, and then the teacher changes the test. And all of a sudden it's about something else now. It's not fair. But the teacher's trying to test you. Performance might change, but the results need to keep going, keep providing. And we don't allow for irregularities. When things aren't going well in the home life and it's starting to impact your work life, some businesses might give you a pass, but others not. If your family member is struggling through cancer and you have to take months and months off, are they going to be so kind as to keep paying you and paying you? Probably not. Not always, at least. Finally, the reality is that our world is just not fair. We want it to be. We desperately wish it was, don't we? And if our world was based on deserving, then everything should be fair. But there are so many, just by the color of their skin, just by from where they were born, are less deserving. And that's not fair. And that's heartbreaking. This world of deserving just doesn't work as much as we want it to. But Jesus didn't come for the deserving. He came for the undeserving. He said it here in Mark. On hearing this, Jesus said to them, "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners." Here's what this means. Jesus comes for those who are undeserving, those who can't make it, those who struggle and fight themselves, who can't make it work. Basically, all of us. Because there's all a way where the pressure gets too much and the deserving just doesn't work. Jesus does not relate to us on the basis of our production. He doesn't relate to us. He doesn't love us because we attend church every Sunday, because we get brownie points from the pastor. No, he loves us because we are undeserving, because we can't get ourselves out of bed every morning. He still loves us. And he wants to offer you the big relief. He wants to offer you grace. Grace is the relief from deserving. Here's the best way to think about grace as relief from deserving, is that it is a gift. Grace is receiving a gift. And you got to receive a gift, not with things in your hand to offer back, but with empty hands. Have you ever thought about that? You can't receive a gift when you're trying to give and do something else to earn that gift. You've got to just receive the gift with empty hands. God offers us the gift. And it is so lopsided, it is so not balanced or proportional to the value we bring. It is preemptive. It comes before we can even ask for it or earn it. It comes before we get a chance. Grace is the gift that is excessive. And it is personal. You ever get a gift that's so personal to you, it makes you cry? You feel seen all of a sudden. You go, wow, this person knows me. They knew this is exactly what I wanted. Maybe it's exactly what I needed, and I didn't even know it until I got it. That is the gift of grace. Dave Zoll, in the book, The Big Relief, says it this way: grace is an affront to the deserving, but to the empty-handed, it is the big relief. And today we come to God empty-handed, looking to receive this gift that we don't deserve. Let me tell it to you in a way you might understand. We've been watching the Olympics, right? Who's been watching the Olympics? Very good. Okay. Well, I'll just say, go USA. It's the one time I get to be proud of my country. Just the Olympics, okay? Not any of the other stuff. And so I get to wear the hat with pride, and it weirds people out when I'm out at the store. They're like, who is this guy? What's he about? Well, the Olympics are a great model of deserving, right? It's this world of deserving. You work hard to qualify for the Olympics. You work hard. It's about finding the best of the best of the best, and only the best win, right? That's what the Olympics is based upon, and we're going to give glory and honor, and we're going to give gold medals to the people who deserve it, because they've worked hard, and they are the best. They trained, they worked, they got it. And then comes along Stephen Bradbury. I'll give you just a recap of this. 1994 Olympics, Bradbury was a genuine gold medal contender. He was deserving, and he didn't win. He was involved in a crash in 1998 that took him out. He was deserving, but he didn't win. And he got injured after that. And the doctors told him to stop, that you're done, but he gave it another go. And in the preliminary heats in 2002, he won that one. Good job. He was deserving to win that race. But in the quarterfinals, he finished third. And you need to be in top 2 to qualify to the next round. But the second place finisher DQ'd for interfering with the person who ended up being fourth. Well, he got the advantage because he got DQ'd. He got to go and finish second. So again, he got a little help to get to the next round. And in the semifinals, Steve Bradbury was once again in dead last out of 5 skaters the whole race. He was in last all the way until the final lap when the Korean skater falls halfway around the track. And on the final turn, the Canadian skater in first place takes out the Chinese guy behind him in second place, and Bradbury coasts across to finish second, qualifies for the final. All right, and then the finals with well-deserving Apollo Anton Ono of the United States. He had been talked about. I remember this. I remember watching this in the U.S., and he was the golden child of the speed skating short track. And he was supposed to win us a bag of gold medals. He was so promoted. This was the pinnacle race for us. And Steve Bradbury in the back, just getting there by dumb luck. And here it is. Let's just give you a reminder.
Ono skating in second position. The Chinese competitor Lee third. Now Ono makes his move. Listen to the roar. Has he gone too wide? He comes back inside. A lap and a half. Can Ono bring it home?
It's going to be very hard to pass Apollo Ono once this guy gets to the lead. He's almost impossible to pass. Skates a great track, holds the corners tight. But the Chinese skater on the outside, oh, and it's a lot of contact, oh!
They've all gone down. Bradbury is going to come through and win gold. Stephen Bradbury from the tail of the field. The Australian has crossed the line first. We will have to wait for the official confirmation. Stephen Bradbury, the 28-year-old from Brisbane, has he done it? Oh my goodness. Ono skating in second position. The Chinese competitor Lee third. Now Ono makes his move.
There we go. Bradbury was deserving in those earlier years. Yes, and he didn't get it. Was he deserving in that year? Probably not. A lot of things had to go his way. A lot of people who worked just as hard, if not harder, who were more athletic, more skilled, finished and failed. This is grace. This is grace. That when he had finally given up and was just competing, just to compete, and he wasn't deserving anymore like those others, came with open hands and received the gold. That is grace. To get what we don't deserve. To do a Bradbury. Amen? Amen.